Hey, this man. Um, just a second. Let me get my sweater on. Hot, cold, hot, cold. I'm gonna make the bed up around this computer here. So I had just, had my partner come home, and, I'm scared that there's a mouse. I saw, like, one mouse turd in the bathroom last night, and I don't know if I thought it was a bug. I don't know if it came off of, if someone else was over here, if it came off someone's shoe. I doubt it. And I was scared because we were gone for about 3 hours, 3 hours. And we always, like, hear stuff in the walls, or, like, stuff moves. Like, oh my god, is that something? And since we don't have, like, cupboards or closets or shelves, it's hard to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, look on the floor to see if there's a hole in the wall, to see if something's getting in here. I gotta put a screen in. I gotta put a thing in the screen. As I said that, I don't like these broken hangers. These broken hangers, like, with the hooks that break off, it's like the clothing gets, my boyfriend looks nice in that jacket, it's a medium. The clothing gets all, like, that's what I'm looking for. Scratch. What is it called? Like runs. Let me put the, I don't know why there's not a thing in the windowsill. I thought I had, well, maybe I had thought I put something in there and I actually didn't. Some bubble wrap in there. I'm just so lame, guys. So I went on that website to see about the mentorship. SCORE mentorship program is at 2, and it's like $2.15 right now. Kind of blood. Oh my god. What in the world is going on in here? Did you guys hear that? It scared the life out of me. I swear, guys. So, I'm surprised I'm not super terrified right now about this animal that was in here. Like, I'm scared. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I have something to do. I ate some of these. I got, like, sinus pressure. I feel like I'm like up more than 6 to 6.6. I'm gonna end up at, I shouldn't even talk like that. Manifestation, right? I'm gonna move this over here. Nowhere to put it. So I don't just stress eat. This chair is a mess. I had to send the kids some rent check. I'm running out of my money. A little bit of money that I have really fast. So I wanted to talk. Ooh, let's kick that bed thing. That hurt. I want to talk about. I had to move some of the stuff. I got to move over there. I don't know why. I feel like I have no energy whatsoever. I want to talk about my clinic. And I was looking at that job location that I heard of, women's health clinic and an integrative clinic that's run by a university hospital. And I was kind of shocked to see that the university one. So first I've heard of it. And so I'm going to look into that. And all I could find was a newspaper article on it, and I couldn't find a, good grief. I was not able to find a website link, but it's a huge medical facility across the state. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging. I might just call. The thing is, I want to look at their website. I want to see if they have any jobs, and then I want to find HR's information so that I can send a resume. And I might just send them a resume and a cover letter like today. Because I have some resumes printed out, and I'm scared to look at it because I see typos. I printed like 5 copies of my resume out. I don't even know if it's my medical one or my restaurant one, or my vending one, or my childcare one. So this chair is just driving me a little bit cuckoo. Is this my mask? No, this is my partner's. Okay. I'll put his together here because then I'll know. I had masks before in the house, and I put my name on the side right here. I put an M, and then I put the date on there so that I knew whose is who. I gotta wash this. Oh my God, guys. I want to throw this out. Some stuff I don't want to throw away, and I'm just like, you know what? Just, you gotta let it go. Like, you gotta let something go. I feel extremely tired. Like, it's like, I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. It's like I feel so tired, like, it almost feels like I could drink a lot of water, and I wouldn't be feeling like it. Like, it's almost like I gotta flush my system, like, it's like it's blocked up, and you're trying to push. My boyfriend is talking about a roll-off. It's like trying to push a roll-off, and you're like awake, so you're like able to push it a little bit, but it's like blocked, and so then you end up pushing. You're pushing on your life and your day, and it's not going anywhere, and all you're doing is getting more and more tired. Like, it's like you have to stop pushing and just take a break, first of all, so you don't have a heart attack. Rest, go through that, and then once you're alert, go get someone's help, and go. Every time I talk, that bird chirps. Get somebody's help, and then every time, oh God, there's a bug in my drink. Daggone it. Every time, I'm gonna throw it away. This is stupid. Every time that they, or you go get someone's help, and you figure out what's the source of this blockage, and you get rid of it, because it's like your day, like for me, it's like my day is going to be hard anyway, but if you're pushing and you're not going anywhere, and you're just like feel like you're going to die, or you feel like, it's like your body, like a couple of people I heard talk the other day talked about this pandemic making them slow down. I'm like, had they not had a period in their life where they got sick, got in a car accident, had a baby, like, or you had to slow things down, and you're not slowing stuff down when you have a baby. What? If you're injured or sick or laid off a job, like something devastating, you're like, oh my God, I can't do anything. Lost a job, moved, can't find a job. I've moved several times in my life, and it's taken me forever to find a job. It's so embarrassing. A lot of people, they get their jobs before they move. They're like, I want to move to the city. I'm going to stay in my city. I'm going to make arrangements. Going to start packing. Going to start getting rid of stuff. And then I'm going to apply for jobs and apartment and all this while they're working their old job. My situation, I had a leave of absence from one job. I told him I was ready to work again. That job is, both of the jobs are nationwide. I also put in a request information about transferring the other job to here, and I heard back from nobody, and it got so sped up and so overwhelming, and I couldn't get anyone to do the correct leave of absence paperwork for me because I got injured on the job. It's just one thing after another, and then the job disappeared, and I'm just basically screwed. And so I just I saw on somebody from Europe or Japan is trying to ask Naturopaths, and it's on the nation or the worldwide website, if someone could drop ship something to one of their clients or whatever. Hold on just a second. Let me go over here and I'm just gonna put this notebook on the shelf. Let me just do that because God, I just gave myself a freaking paper cut. What the heck? I told you that I probably need to stop, huh? Recently got 2 drops of this. I'm gonna do this class. I'm gonna sit on the bed. It's hard to get on and off this bed, so I'm just gonna sit on it. So they said, all these people said, oh, we can just drop ship it. I'll do it. And I know everyone's wanting to do it. I just, the light bulb just came on because they're going to get a commission for selling it, a product that I don't even know what it is. And I saw they're like, oh, we need somebody who's in DC. And I saw this lady that had been from the islands who moved to the US, and she saw the change in people being racist and rude, and she had problems in school, and she had a different way that she dressed. She was not heavy set, but she was like how my body is when I'm not like super thin, just like black and curvy, and she'd wear tight pants, and they hated her. So I just did a friend request to her, and it says she was in DC, and I just like literally went ahead and text her a message. I can't really see anything on here, and she has a doctor page that says she's open 10 to 6 today in DC. Someone said the decor is good. Oh, sorry. I can't do that. I cannot. I have to turn the sound down. I hate when that happens. And you scroll. I don't want any copyright issues about this. Let's see if I got any emails. Mask approval list. What is this? OMS. Who the heck is OMS? CDC. 100 pack for $450. What the heck is that? I was sitting here when my partner came home listening to my meeting and had the video game on. I just looked like such a lame-o, you know? I felt so bad. I was doing all this like admin stuff. I made that video. I did a bunch of stuff that I needed to send to my kids, and I had to measure it, like get the scale. I pulled all this papers that you can hear out of the drawer. I have to put that stuff away. I didn't let myself put it back in the drawer. We're missing some of his paperwork. I don't want to pull out my file cabinet box anymore. I put books in it, it's heavy, so I need to make myself slide it out from under the bed. I wanted to make him food, and what I said was I was going to make my diet tea. Well, I was going to make whatever tea, but it happened to be the Diet Slim one. I put a lemon peel that was left for my lemonade. I was saying, make the tea so you can have his pot of pasta and sauce for the rest of the day, because you're going to simmer the sauce all day, and then you're going to put the pasta in there, and then I can make him a sandwich and put that in the fridge, and I can make him a salad and put that in the fridge, so that he can eat that instead of the cookies and stuff that he didn't want to eat. And he's making me mad, and he says he's joking and being funny and he knows that he's not that nice. I just got dizzy. My ears started ringing really loud. This ear just like clogged. It's crazy. It's like ringing so loud. He's like, oh, I need to eat healthier. I need to find a gal that's going to make me salads every day. And I just got so mad. Because it's like, we didn't have any salad. Like, it's like, I do work around here, and it makes me feel bad. And I say what I don't mean. Like, fine, go find someone else. And every time I say that, I believe it more. I'm like, fine. I'm not the person for you. And even you kind of say you're joking to not get in trouble, but it's like subconsciously you probably really mean that you want someone to make your food, because it's like you go somewhere, eat something cold from the snack aisle and say, oh, because nobody's going to make me any food. And this morning he was talking about someone else making yummy food and that the men won't do it. I was like, oh, maybe it tastes better because someone else doing it. And I knew that he meant that it was a double standard, that the women cook and the men clean, or the men work. But I'm like, did they have kitchens? Like, yeah. I was like, first of all, I can make rice, and I never made him noodles. I can make rice and potatoes in a sandwich, and if we have salad, I can put tuna on top of a salad and stick it in the fridge for him. But it's like, there's no kitchen, and I have a struggle. Like, I'm fat, and I have a food problem myself, but I have a problem with energy when I had to make my own food. So what I did in my house, since there's a kitchen, was make some of my own food, start my kids' food, and set it on the counter and work my way in stages. Like some people just go all in and spend 40 minutes to an hour or 2 hours in the kitchen going at it like a Thanksgiving like meal. But me, it's like I need to eat a snack and drink some beverages before, and I need to sit down so she won't stuff is frying, because I don't know why it makes me pass out, especially like frying chicken. So a lot of times it's like lazy. Instead of frying up ground beef for tacos in the stove, I like you're not supposed to leave it unattended, but especially not on the stove. I like cook it in a huge pan in the oven, and just come down every few minutes, set a timer, and just mix it up, and then start putting spices in it, and slowly put the cutting board out, slowly rinse out the lettuce. Like every time I come back, I add one more thing to it. Or I could sit on the couch and watch one of my library shows. And this is only when I'm not working all the time. So it's hard because I'm not, if I was in the house, if I was in the house working from home when I was with the kids, I spent a lot of time doing laundry, cleaning, taking care of the animals, and cooking. Going to take the trash out, get something out of the car, try to clean the car, like, and I'm supposed to be sitting at my desk like I'm at work like 8 hours a day. I'm at work 8 hours a day, and I come home, and then I'm tired, because I'll sometimes work 16 hours a day. Then I'm tired, I come home, and I have no energy, but it's like, if you want to get the food, now's the time to do it. Nobody's had anything. You haven't had anything. You have to do it now before everyone goes to bed and before you pass out, can't get up. And I'd watch Sophia make dinner sometimes, like, oh, I hate watching her going grocery shop, making dinner, using a crock pot and all this. But then it's like, as soon as she starts making it, even if I have to go put hot dogs in the toaster oven for my kids and grab some bread or mac and cheese, like if it's just the basic chicken nuggets, like it's like if I didn't watch her, I would have just fall asleep. But it's almost like I get a little bit of guilt that she's doing and I'm not. But mostly what I get is that she was working and that she's having to come home and do this. Her husband is working from home. But that's the thing. Some people can say, I'm working from home, I have to work from home. I have to do this. I'm not going to cook and clean for everybody and cut the grass. But for me, I end up doing all this stuff. Harley sit in my office, set goals, do some work in my office, feel proud of myself, and then don't get paid for it. And then it's like, this is stupid. But sometimes you get paid. It's like sometimes it comes together. Very rarely, but more than zero. So I have this issue complaining about not having a kitchen, not having a sink, not having... it's because I do things in stages. Wash a few dishes. I got the hand towel here, the oven here. I can preheat this, wipe this down. Oh, it's going to take me 2 hours. Let me make somebody some toast and butter. You know what I mean? Let me throw together, those Pillsbury cookie, chocolate chip cookies that are Nestle or whatever, the tube of cookie dough that you forget about. Like, let me throw that together while I wash a pan that needs to put the chicken in and get some of that done and save the rest so they can have a little bit of snack, on a plate like kids would have after school lunch or after school snack, And I have to get used to a new place because there's a different adventure out here. And I know that I was very unsuccessful with my work last year because I was at home trying to work. I was working my 2 other jobs. I was doing tutoring sometimes. I was trying to be a doula. And I was driving everyone around where they need to be. And then especially from January 1st, I was pretty much start dating that one guy. And then it transitioned to this other man. And there was a couple stragglers along the way, And that's the thing, I let myself hang out at people's houses. I let myself keep working all these jobs and not do my billing. And then I'd still see patients and rush off to my other jobs and not do the admin work that needs to bill the insurance. So I have a whole lot of stuff that's a problem there that I still have a problem with. But what's the balance between having a relationship with family and loved ones and self-care and work when you're working for yourself and you're not in the office punch the clock where they have video cameras everywhere watching everything and GPS monitoring every action? Like my other jobs, like they can GPS, and if you wanted to take a 5-minute break and run to the bank across the street to use the ATM, they're going to GPS track you. And even though it's your 5-minute break and you're not supposed to clock off, they can see that. It'll show you at the end of the day that you were not on site, even though you were just across the street running back and forth, And we have that kind of stuff happen. And if you didn't notice that if it GPS kicks you off your timesheet, you don't notice to the end of the day. You're like, oh crap, because then you could have immediately come back and told them I had a 5-minute break. You can immediately come back and put the correct coordinate or GPS, let it GPS track you back on at your station. My station didn't have had Wi-Fi or cell phone signal, so it's like you had to go somewhere else anyway. If you found that out, you had to shut down your cart and go somewhere and clock in after lunch and stuff. You don't want to clock in right after lunch. You want to clock in when you're at your station. But then you have to pause everything because then you forget, you set out everything, and it's like I used to see women from KFC, like Hispanic little Hispanic women from KFC come over to the Fred Meyer that I was vending at. And I used to think sometimes, oh, I kept smiling and waving. I thought they were with my company because they were wearing all black. It's like, because my company, we had to wear all, I was like, oh, it's an auditor. Like, oh, it's a coworker. They got someone else over here today. I'm excited. Like, oh, crap, it's not. And I end up, like, it's crazy. I end up realizing it was KFC. They're coming over on their lunch break to sometimes use the bathroom or get some food or whatever reason. My thing is doing something. It's probably telling me that I have to do. There's another webinar in half an hour. I have to do this thing, guys. Let's see if I can do it. I can't do it from my phone, whatever it is. I need to go. The clinic. I keep talking about jobs and working with people and find someone in DC. I'm not licensed in DC. It says you need to have a space in DC. I'm going to call him today. My boyfriend, it's 3:35 or 2:30. My mind is finally waking up, and I almost passed out. My ears started ringing. That was so scary. My body's telling me to slow the heck down. I'm anemic, among other things. I haven't had kale in weeks. I totally forgot about that. That kale was part of my diet. I saw it at the store. I hadn't been to a store in weeks. So I hadn't even thought about it. I got some broccoli. About to put some broccoli in the dehydrator. I'll put some broccoli in the dehydrator because I need some fiber, and then I'll start my, I'm going to make some more freaking tea. I'm going to make some really flavorful tea so that I can enjoy it for the rest of the evening, because I'm going to he wants me to buy my own pot because we're getting cross-contamination with food allergens. But I want to imagine my clinic, that I have my own space, that I can run my doula clinic, my store, and my medical clinic out of this space, that I can run my lab out of space, that I can earn enough money, $1,000 a month to pay the rent. The rent and the overhead will be low, but that I can have some part-time workers, billing assistant, and some type of medical person, whether it's a doula, whether it's a student, like I want to try my hand at having someone else. Someone else is trying their hand to do the complete opposite, to just be by themselves. I actually applied for a job with this guy. He didn't even respond, or had to have a phone interview or something, or he did not accept me. I get so overwhelmed with what I do. If I just said I did this, and then I graduate this program, and then I worked here doing this mainly and volunteered here, like, that's a lot. If I just kept it like that, it's one thing. But if I just focus on, oh, well, I don't really know, like, I didn't really use this because my clients are really difficult. Like, no, you flip it around. You did something that no one else would even fathom doing, and they wouldn't even know how to do it. You have to say that you had a low-income, underserved population, that you did some social work to help them get to a better place in their children and their lives. Like, you don't say how struggling the appointments are because of language barrier and this and this and having to spend time, like, some of that, it just sounds flaky, or it sounds like you're not really doing the healthcare part of it. You have to say, oh, I'm a doctor doing doctor stuff. I'm a doctor prescribing medications. I'm a doctor doing diagnostic evaluations and treatments, various modalities as a naturopath. So I have to say that to myself too. Let's close our eyes for a second. Let's do an imagination of the clinic. Someone else we helped design her clinic in Clackamas. Let's mimic the same thing here. We had this building, and I want to say state of the art with like the timber frame. I saw timber frame stuff. It's got timber frame. It's got a big parking lot. Like, wait. Maybe I'll make it like people have to park in the street so that it's like a smaller footprint of cement. Like, wait, no. Let's just have a parking lot. Let's just be normal. We have people in wheelchairs, a van full of kids. We don't want them in the street. So let's just, you're going to maintain the property. There will be trees and plants growing there, and you can use non-toxic things to maintain the foliage. So I had this state-of-the-art building. I had this parking lot. I own the land. I own the building. I have 2 lots side by side. One is the house, residential slash commercial, residential slash commercial. Or maybe just commercial. Let's have them both residential slash commercial, because you can have apartments. Let's say we did do like a timber frame. We have upstairs, and we have, let's say we have 3 apartments upstairs. And on this side we have office buildings that people can rent, and they both have separate stairways. And downstairs we have like a gym, like yoga studio, and we have a green room. It's just like a connected greenhouse. And then there is a garden, and the half of the garden is like this, and then adjacent to that garden will be a fence with another garden that's my yard. But this garden's going to end, and it's going to end up being fruit trees and vegetable trees, and then that garden. And sometimes people, since I own both properties, they can pick apples, and I'll have vines of grapes too on the fence. They can pick the fruit from my side. But if I sell that other property, then there's going to have to be some rules established. I got to get on this other webinar thing. I have my house in the back, and it's very secluded and private. It's a small lot. It's not that small, but it's secluded and private. Like, and it has, like, I always want an alley here and a driveway with a road in the front. I want to be able to go out the back garage into the alley and ride my bike up and down the street or around the block without, like, traffic. Like, you barely see. Like, maybe you'll see the mail truck. Like, you don't want a lot of traffic. Somehow, like, it's a road. There's other roads that take you same spot. And I want to have a pet, but I don't know. I want to be able to travel. We're not going to be able to have pets. Or we have an office manager who takes my pet when I go out of town. I don't know. Let's just not have a pet right now. Or you can get one of those long-term fish tanks that have the feeder. I used to have to put feeder stuff in my fish tanks. Let's do that. Let's have a long-term fish tank. Then this wild animals that come to the yard. So the clinic is going to be a clinic that's just perfect for me. Very clean, very organized, like I would have learned to have the space that I design. And my house is almost going to mimic the clinic. It's going to have like a cooking area, teaching area, a gym area, like little wooden rooms, you know. It's going to have the greenhouse connected to the house. I wanted to have an aviary, but we'll build an aviary, but we won't. It'll be an open air greenhouse adjacent to the other greenhouse. So when I get really old, we'll get the parakeets. When I don't want to travel anymore or something, we'll get the parakeets and the aviary. It's got to be warm enough for that though, so it might have to be enclosed. We'll have it like shutter glass. Like you can remove it and open it up, or you can close it and make it for temperature control, humidity control, anti-pesticide and pollution control, pest control. And I want to have horses, so that means it's going to have to be in an unincorporated land. I don't know how that. I have horses that I would have to have them on horse property, that I would have to pay a manager to help if I go on vacation. Or I'd have to board them. Let's say we board the horses with the friends and go horseback riding, go on road trips with the horses, go horseback riding with them, horse camping. That would be something on it. Now I gotta figure out how much that is, because it's like always in my mind. It's like, you know, there's property, then you gotta lease someplace, then you gotta pay someone to do. It's like, I just wasted money. I could just use it for retirement, help my kids, and get out of debt. I need to stop wasting money. But then you would only live once, right? So let's imagine my house. Let's imagine me and my boyfriend. Let's say we have this TV that we have here in like a basement, cozy room. Let's say it's storming outside and we have basement windows. and we could see the lightning and hear the rain even down there. And let's say we have a fireplace that goes up downstairs to upstairs to 3 floor fireplace. Let's say we're sitting there watching TV. I have some candles lit, and we're both eating a salad, and he has fish like salmon he caught in his. Say we shipped some salmon from the Pacific Northwest or something. Someone put a news story about no more fishing, no fishing. It didn't make sense. I didn't read it. The title didn't make sense. I think I missed this group that I was supposed to go to, guys, from talking. And let's say we're sitting there watching TV, watching a new movie, and it's adventurous. Let's say it's one person that travels to different places around the world, and say it's interesting because it's like something I want to do. And say that I had just saved up enough money, and I'm taking not a siesta, a hiatus, or what do you call it, when you take a couple of years off. And then I also have rental properties and income generating business, or like passive income, like some kind of product line that could just sell and be distributed from my company or to other facilities like grocery stores. Like the packages go in, you get the money from it. Distribution. Let's say there's an adventurous movie and they talk about, let's just say, throw 3 countries out. Let's say Spain, Italy, and Greece. They start with a tour, then they go to a different continent, and they talk about things, money, hostel, conversation, what to bring, how to carry your bag, get on the train, this and this and this, what kind of paperwork, how to keep it safe, what to leave, what to not leave in your room, what to bring with you at all times, what things you might want to pick up that are cute that you can't get anywhere else. Like, let's have a food thing too. And during this video, during this house, I'll have a cooking, non-cooking class, which would be like raw foods, and I'll have a state-of-art designed raw food kitchen. And I will be fit because I will have the ability to walk back and forth and to ride the bike and to have a fitness room like in a hotel. Because I might as well add a pool to that. The fitness room in the hotel might only have like a weight machine, treadmill, and exercise bike. So just have the basic thing and a place to do yoga. Not as cold as the last time I exercised in Seattle or Tacoma. And let's just say that I go out into my driveway to get something out of the car, and there's a picnic table in the yard out front. And I sit down on the picnic table, and I'm not scared of ticks, and I'm not scared of bugs, and I'm not scared of racist people. I'm not scared of someone trying to spit in my face or cut my brake lines. And I see people that I know, and they wave, and their dog runs up to me, and they don't scratch my legs, like the dog here, golden retriever, and they don't jump on me or scratch my legs, and the people invite me to a cookout, barbecue, Memorial Day, whatever holiday is coming up. Get a couple invitations, people have bands, pool parties, and it's like I can smile and I have glowing cheeks, and because the stress level went down, and because it's not like, oh, to maintain all that property you have to work. It's like you got a very affordable rate. You used the money that you had wisely. You did your work at the pace. I'm like challenging the mind at the pace, like a handicap. If I need to do a certain pace, I need to do it at my pace. And it's just right. It's just enough to keep me active and excited and feel worthwhile. But it's not so much that I feel inadequate and overwhelmed and just all or nothing and perfectionist, all or nothing. I'm not even going to start it. So I also have my partner doing his business where he's older, so he has to hire men to do some work for him, and he can do the jobs and the phone calls and the driving of the trucks. He would get his Class B license, or whichever one it is, and that he can have these people also manage it while we go on our vacations. And we use our money wisely, invest it. I get it out of debt. And wouldn't this be scary? I don't think my boyfriend would watch this. Get out of debt. Get married. And where did the lady tell me to get married? Oh shoot, I should have written it down. It was the Bahamas? Oh my god. She told me it was so clear in my mind. She said that there was a place, it might have been the Bahamas. I don't remember where. She had a beach wedding. And I had imagined a beach wedding before I met this lady, before she told me that. Peace, guys. I'm going to see if I can get in on this score workshop. Bye.